You may have heard that the ECB has released a new €50 banknote, but there are probably 5 things you still don't know about it. Did you know that the €50 banknote is the most widely used banknote in the euro system? There are 8 billion €50 notes in circulation. That's almost half of all cash in circulation. This leads us to fact number 2. Our experts work hard to keep it safe and secure. We're here at the ECB's Banknote Counterfeit Research Lab, where an ECB counterfeit expert will tell you more.
The Euro 50 is the most counterfeited denomination. We have therefore enhanced the security features. One of the new features is the emerald number. It's the numeral that changes color from green to blue as you tilt the note, and at the same time you will see an effect of the light moving up and down. In the portrait window you can see the face of Europa, and on the reverse side you will see more 50s in rainbow colors.
It costs between 6 and 10 cents to produce a euro banknote. This is the total cost of the ink, the paper and the printing. The cost differs based on the various sizes and security features. No joke. There was once a farmer in the Netherlands whose cow ate a euro banknote. He took back the pieces and got a replacement for it. If you lost your note, they can't help you there. So why don't we just put the new €50 banknote in your hand today, the day we're unveiling it? Well, remember, each ATM in Europe is programmed to recognize euro banknotes. There are 19 countries using the euro with almost 170,000 bank branches. Therefore, a lot of ATMs will have to be updated. The new 50 will be released in April 2017. See what it looks like and visit our website to find out more details about the new Europa series.
It is kind of easy to actually do the trade. It's just figuring out everything else before it.
The Governing Council decided to launch the Asset Purchase Program, the APP, because it was facing a situation in which there was continued downside pressure on prices that were jeopardizing the achievement of the ECB's price stability objective. And at the same time, the room to cut the policy rate further down was very limited.
We expect that the APP, in conjunction with the other policy measures, will boost GDP by around 1.5% over a 3-year period and inflation by 0.5 percentage point in 2016 and 2017.
The expanded asset purchase program consists of 3 programs currently: the ABS purchase program, the covered bond purchase program, and a more sizable public sector purchase program. And we will soon add corporate sector purchase program.
The corporate sector purchase program needs to work on 2 different types of issues. The first one is related to the definition of the policy parameters. So, for instance, which bonds to buy, from which entities, at which maturity, is there a minimum issuance size, what should be the minimum credit quality level. And the other part is about the implementation, so how to buy in the primary, secondary, who should buy according to which procedures.
The public sector purchase program accounts for about 85% of the Eurosystem purchases and has been conducted since March 2015. Our day starts naturally with selecting the bonds that we will buy on that day. Then we communicate this to the national central banks that also operate in the market. Thereafter, we buy the bonds either electronically or via telephone.
The implementation of the asset-backed securities purchase program is quite different and more complex than the other asset purchase programs, given that the Eurosystem had insufficient experience in the trading and investment of these ABSs. We used from the start 4 external asset managers and more recently 2 external asset managers and 2 internal asset managers. Still, the Eurosystem has always retained the full control of the program, and it decides on the maximum price and the volume of each of the purchases.
We have flexibility between the programs. So, for example, if there's a lot of covered bond issuance, we can buy more covered bonds that month and less public sector bonds, and vice versa.
By increasing the prices of these assets, we give banks incentives to grant more loans of this type and thereby provide more credit to the economy. And that will also ease the borrowing conditions of ultimate borrowers.
think our work here in strategy, but also in the Directorate Monetary Policy, has changed quite significantly since we have these non-standard measures, mainly because developing the non-standard measures, seeing how they work, and also the implementation requires a much closer cooperation with many business areas, with DGM, with DGL, with risk management, with communication. And in that sense, I think it strengthens the team effort, it makes it more interesting to work on these things, gets the teams closer together, and I think that's very challenging, it's dynamic, and in this way we are working very differently today, I think, than we were working probably at times when there were no non-standard measures.
The TLTROs are refinancing operations that provide loans to banks with a long maturity, and banks are given additional incentives to lend on the funds received. The key features of our TLTRO program are the following. We will offer 4 operations, 1 each quarter, starting June 2016 until March 2017. The maturity of the operations will be 4 years each, so that the last TLTRO 2 will mature in March 2021. Banks will pay the MRO rate at the time of bidding, so right now it's 0. And they may even get a reduction on that rate, which increases with the amount of loans they grant. So the maximum reduction will bring the rate on the TLTRO 2 to the level of the deposit facility rate at the time of bidding. The amount that banks can borrow is linked to the amount of loans they have on their balance sheet. So, a bank that's very active in granting loans to the real economy can borrow more than a bank that concentrates on other activities. So the full list of features is in the press release that will be published after this press conference. So why did we decide to have another series of TLTROs? Well, some of the main reasons are loan growth in the euro area has been recovering now for quite a time, but it's still too low. Also, TLTRO 2 will, and we had actually a pretty successful experience with the first TLTRO. So we expect that TLTRO 2 will offer attractive long-term funding conditions to banks to further ease private sector credit conditions and to stimulate credit creation. I think this is quite important now. Also, it provides funding certainty. Let's not forget, it's a 4 years operation at an attractive price in an environment of increasing volatility, and also an environment of large upcoming bond redemptions, bank bond redemptions. So banks face sizable forthcoming funding needs, and so this occurs in an environment where the pricing of bank debt is volatile and uncertain. So we think that in conjunction with all the other measures, standard and non-standard in place, this TLTRO 2 will contribute to a return of inflation rates to an objective of close but below 2% over the medium term.